Hey everybody, welcome back. Whew, man, what a rough hair day. Guess I should wait for some people to join. Shame I had to have my mic muted. Copyright issues, but I'm out of breath. I need to exercise more. I was rocking the Casbah. Hey Maria, how are you, doll? Laughing at myself. Hey Bonus, how are you? Whew. Oh, I'm out of breath. I was like completely rocking out back here, man, waiting for, time. And then Rock the Casbah came on, and I was just in a whole different type of like energy. I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling this. How are you guys? Doing well. Awesome. Well, hi October. Welcome, doll. How are you today? Do I do yoga? Like I've done basics, but I haven't done much. But it is something that I'm actually looking to dive into soon. And how do you deal with spirits often touching or manifesting? Do you have any tips how to control your sight? I mean, there are exercises you can do, especially closing yourself off. Like, are you talking in terms of like when you taught yourself to see the spirits, or are you talking of like through a psychic ability? I mean, I guess it could all be considered psychic, but there are exercises you can do for that. However, I can't always control that, Ponus, if I'm being honest. I kind of just ignore them if I can and try to do like closing exercises. And that is where I will meditate. Sorry, I'm still out of breath, guys. Damn, this lockdown's put me out of shape. But I will kind of practice like closing my third eye, kind of closing off my crown, things like that. And do you think spirits care when you give them blood? Oh, yeah. Oh, I think they definitely care. In my opinion, and from my experiences, blood is like crack for spirits. Well, depending on what you're doing too, and of course the circumstance and the spirit. But I think they all enjoy it anyways. Finished yoga. I need to start that. I need to start some sort of workout when you get them naturally. Yeah. Honestly, seeing like spirits and all types of entities and thought forms and things like that since a young age. I have done like common exercises other mediums suggest, but in my own experience, I just have a very hard time like closing that off, kind of shutting that down a bit. For me, I feel like they it's like a strainer. They still kind of seep through, like if that makes any sense. But I'll tell you what, I'll look into it and I'll make a video about it. Maybe help you out soon. If I don't know the answer, I will find it for you guys to try to help. Just breathe. Yes. Heart's starting to slow down now, but whoever watches this back will probably like just die laughing. I was so vibing. Blood magic is stronger than non-blood magic. Yeah, I agree completely. And Nick Casborn, welcome, and hail, Lucifer. So, yeah. Also, see, I was just going to make this a Q&A when I originally put it up, but I was going to do a video yesterday on some research I've been doing about the 4 demon mothers and other lore and texts that I've been studying lately. but I couldn't find it for the life of me yesterday. And then today I found my notes. So if that's something you guys are interested in, I'd like to share it. And of course, you guys can always ask anything. Never used blood. I tend to use beet mixed with earth. Not that I'm opposed to it. It's just something I've never done. Have you used anything else as a substitute? Oh yeah. But I mean, I don't want to make myself sound a little like nuts here, but there's something seductive in blood magic, and I think that's part of its allure, in my opinion. It's also very seductive to spirits and those type of entities. So, I mean, any offerings or other things could do. Also, other bodily fluids or types of energy. I've used sexual energy. I've used semen. I've used, a lot of it's endless. I think a lot of it would boil down to, like, to answer that, would be like context and what you're working with and what you're trying to do. Hello, welcome to the live. How are you? Moonshine. Been a while since I've had moonshine. Don't use blood often unless I save it from somewhere. I get any wounds. Yeah. Luckily, I get free blood every month. So please share. Okay, awesome. Yes. Let me just catch up quick and I will start sharing. Another succubus came upon my 2 days ago, and I'd been in a relationship with one already. Any tips, please, and work with them both? Ooh, yeah. I primarily work with like my incubus, but I have had succubus relationships and encounters. What are you trying to work with them with? Is it just like a relationship, like the companionship, or are you looking like to have them do tasks for you, or what exactly are you working with when it comes to them? Dragon's blood or dove's blood could be used and said, oh, definitely, yes. Anything. Oh, yeah. Dragon's blood's a good one too, though. Yes, thank you, Ponus. Me. Same Ponus, I'm weird. You're not weird. You're not weird. You just do things your way, and there isn't a damn thing wrong with that, doll. I will not just like give my blood over any like old thing that I'm doing. Typically I'll use blood, like, for an example, if I have like, I'm doing some sort of work with Belial versus like a lesser spirit, I'd probably give my blood to Belial depending on what I was doing or what I asked the spirit to help me with. If that makes sense. Like, it depends very much on who I'm working with and what I'm doing and what their power is and what I think. Because I kind of view my blood as like one of the most precious things that I can give them. So if I really want them to take note of that on my part, like, one, it could be symbolic with my blood magic. So it would be like I'm willing to bleed for, what I'm asking for, what I'm working on here. Or if I'm actually offering my blood up to the spirit, it would be to let them know that they mean a lot to me. I view them in a certain way. And that's typically like my view when it comes to that, like blood offering. Hey, Rochelle. And thank you. Use tree sap a lot and the essence of said tree, if that makes sense. Actually, that makes perfect sense to me. And I think that's a great idea. Hi, Whispers of Three. Wow, welcome everybody. I'm so glad you guys decided to join me. So I'm reading out of one of my little, I call it my sloppy book of shadows, because it's not my pretty one. I just kind of got stuff jotted everywhere in here as I come along in my research. And I was looking at a couple different sources, like probably a week ago, and came across this idea of 4 main mothers of demons. And one I was already aware of. The other 2 I hadn't heard of. And I just thought that it would be a neat topic to suggest or explore. Also, kind of a different viewpoint when it comes to harnessing your sexual energy and using sex magic. And I thought it interesting. So I kind of wanted to share my notes, what I have so far, and get your guys' opinions about it. And if you're interested in this, let me know, and I will definitely continue my research on this, which I probably will anyway. But if it's interesting to you, then I will make a video more in depth and dig further for you guys. Okay, so the mothers of demons. Besides Lilith, which she is included in these 4, there are other 3 demonic mothers. And that would be Nema, which I was aware of Nema, and I am sure that a lot of other people kind of connect her and Lilith as being the same person in some sources. But we're not talking about like from that side of things. This is, I'm trying to remember like where exactly I found this, but yeah, probably in something Mesopotamian, because that's kind of what I've been looking more into, but I could be wrong. And we have Igrot. God, I hope I'm not butchering these. And Magalot. Yeah. So the mother of Ashmedai, which is considered the prince of demons, is also said to be Nema. I can see where they would, like, people would think Nema and Lilith are the same, but there are also other texts like that say Nema could have even been Noah's wife, or that these women were originally the women that lured like Azazel and the Watchers and Shemyaza to fall. So Nema is associated with many occult sex rituals as well. Each of their energies dominates one of the 4 seasons of the year. The Sabbats are symbolic of each of the sisters, and they are considered to be the sisters, reign as the seasons change, where the sisters are said to gather in darkness and celebrate the end of one's reign and the beginning of another. So these Sabbats would be your Yule, winter solstice, the spring equinox, the summer solstice, and then the autumn equinox. And apparently when these ladies gather, they have them a grand time, which I'm totally down for and love their vibe here. Orgies and sex rites. And they harness this power in these rituals. And apparently these practices go back to like Babylonian times. So I found that interesting. And that these sisters are having them a very nice time at the change of every season. So now I'm not going to be able to get that out of my head. Every time we celebrate one of these, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I know what you're doing, homegirl. Anyway, so the symbology of the seduction from these women perhaps causes the man to be infused with prana, chi, and creation. Yet she can also weaken the man. So this is also kind of like an archetype for human women as well, right? Especially in the practice and art of Tantra. When a man orgasms, the man's consciousness is weakened. He loses power. The man must then transmutate instead of just expelling when it comes to like these ancient sex rites, apparently. So this is kind of symbolic reference of like the succubi killing children, I feel, which I was really excited to share kind of my thoughts with that on you guys. Because if we approach that in like a symbolic view, the succubi, what is she? She's very seductive to the male counterpart, right? And if speaking specifically from what I have here, just pertaining to this, which we're about to get into, it is explained and believed that the sexual energy should be harnessed and long-lasting, merging the feminine and masculine energies together as one without orgasming, because I don't really know. But so looking at this claim, this is referring to children never born by the seduction, causing man to expel his seed versus transmuting it. So are they saying in a sense that, you know, we seduce the men into this act, and then they're expelling instead of transmutating, meaning killing the ones that were never born? It's just a thought. Don't know if it's true or not, but so therefore the children wouldn't be born. To me, this is a warning of like misuse of sexual energy more so than the succubus actually killing children. We need to balance and work together in harnessing this energy correctly. And this is like my notes from my understanding of what I was researching. Through this, we can see how women and these female mothers, the demons, were demonized. Sex energy was better practiced and understood in ancient times, because we do know about Babylonian temples and stuff too, right? And yeah, how they would practice these like orgy sexual rites, apparently. And a lot of these names like Lilith or was it Ishtar? My memory's escaping me, guys. But yeah, I mean, a few goddesses, deities, spirits that were associated with these times and with these rites. Let me read a few comments before I move on. Oh, and thank you about the background whispers. And Ponus says, I don't really care about my offerings. For some reason, blood, sexual energy, etc. don't mean anything to me. It's just energy and showing respect to them. Hey, and that's cool, man. Roll with it. Awesome. Excited for you to share. Very interested in your topics. Hail Lilith. Yes. Oh, Ave. I love her. Love her. Oh. I have heap of those too. They're usually the big black notebooks from, yeah. Do you think Lilith could have something to do with Jesus' mother? Is that Maria or Mary? Mother Maria? For some reason, I looked at the statue and thought of this. Maybe, I don't know. But I wouldn't, if you're talking about like his, I don't know. Because I see Lilith as like this passionate, like sensual, destructive, as well as like a creative type energy. And when I think of her, I don't really get the same vibe, but that's just me. And perception is very, subjective and individualistic. So Nema is in Kabbalistic lore one of 4 angels of prostitution. Just Google that. That's right. Yes, and these are the ladies I'm talking about. Thank you, Maria, for putting that in here, because I was researching into the Kabbalah as well. That makes perfect sense. Thank you. Yeah. Gustavo says, have sex, don't come. that's what they say, to harness like this energy to achieve a certain state of consciousness. I think if you're trying to achieve that state of consciousness, could be an awesome practice. If you're trying to, just come, then most certainly I'm all for it. Do you? No, I actually, when I was researching this, it was funny because I came to that part where they're like, it's practiced where they don't orgasm. And I'm like, well, but why? Okay. Oh, hold on. I just seen somebody ask, who is Ishtar? So a goddess in Babylonian or Mesopotamian lore also has links back to Inanna, I believe, Lilith, I believe Astarte. You can connect them to many different faces, but if you're talking about energy-wise, like those are just some of the few names that I view Ishtar. Also, did you hear the legend and lore, like the Star of Ishtar, or was that Inanna? Can't remember. I read so much crap, guys. I do not think it is contractual only. I think it's just a matter of unlocking it if you're looking to. But it's an interesting thought, Ponus, yeah. And the website Maria found, awesome. I know there are operations or a few items that block you from coming. I know of things that can block that too, but we won't get into that. Don't know if I know that feeling either as a Scorpio. All right, I'll stop. I'm in a silly mood today too, guys. All right. So women certainly know the art of seduction, right? I think there's a bit of Lilith or these sisters in all of us, if you ask me. But for example, how many men, and try to answer truthfully, please, in the comments, how many men feel weaker, like after the intimate act? Trying to say it as least like cringe as I can. And how many women feel energetic more so after the act? I have a theory that what I'm sharing with you guys here may have something to do with that as well, and with these demonesses' energies. For example, sorry, I was reading a comment. Okay. For example, like, and this is so wrong. I'm really not trying to be sexist here, but equality for all. But if a woman was to walk up to like a guy and like, hit on him quite heavily, I think, or maybe it's a stereotype, but 9 times out of 10, I've always heard, that guys will be more like open to entertain that. Whereas if a male was to try it, women would be all types of like offended and stuff. And I'm not really trying to bring that up as a discussion of like sexism and all this and stereotypes. I'm bringing that kind of a thought up for the purposes of what I'm researching here, if that makes sense. In some cultures, they believed in, like in China, that the more sex partners we have, the longer we live, both spiritually and physically. These tantric practices are still used today. Sex was seen as an ancient internal alchemy in these cultures. It is believed that a man can reach immortality by having many sexual partners, but never ejaculating. The yin and the yang flow is what they're trying to achieve here, which is the essence of the female around a full moon having sex with a male and harnessing it together without orgasm. The Chinese believe you can heal your body and spirit from the flow of these energies working together, and using this feeds us energetically. The forbidden fruit in Eden, in my opinion, was sex. Maybe. A little bit between like the knowledge and then sex, But I think sex is more than just sex, right? It is something sacred, or supposed to be, you share between another energetic body. And perhaps using sexual rights is the hidden knowledge in that aspect, right? So Lilith being associated with the serpent, or even Azazel, which really isn't important who it was, because they're both kind of associated with sex, right? Because Azazel fell along with the other watchers because he lusted after the women on earth. Whereas Lilith, well, we all know Lilith, right? So whoever it may have been, it is believed that practicing sexual rites, we nourish the soul. Therefore, in the afterlife, we ascend into our immortal light body versus reincarnating. See, in this point of the research, it's starting to explain and describe that this is one of the ways that they believe in these practices we can break the cycle of reincarnation and karma. So is sex the key to true ascension? Question mark. Because, I have a lot of questions, okay? So is this the hidden practice of immortality in the afterlife? It would explain why religious organizations who want to control the world think of sex as a negative thing outside of one partner and viewed as a sin to lust or to have premarital sex and stuff. And perhaps it is the missing key that our ancestors held while practicing orgies on Sabbath nights in the energies of the 4 demoness sisters. Anyone else think that? Transmuting the energy instead of depleting it will lead to our light body in the afterlife versus being recycled or reincarnated. So Lilith left Adam and became the consort of Samuel. Was that also symbolic for maybe her transcendence into something different, seeing something different and choosing her own way, her own path? Is anyone else connecting this to? Just me? In Kabbalistic text, it states, "And the serpent, the woman of harlotry, seduced Eve through the husks of light, which in itself holiness. And the serpent seduced holy Eve." Enough said for those who understand, because all of the sins of Adam, all of the things mentioned come into being. For the evil Lilith, when she saw the greatness of his corruption, became strong in her husks, and came to Adam against his will, and became hot from him, and bore him many demons and spirits and Lilin. So my kind of closing thoughts on this is, in a sense, I think all of us women have a little bit of Lilith. And and her essence and the symbology in these stories, I don't know. I really think there's something there, something to that. I want to look more into these sisters and find a bit more on them, but that's what I had to share so far. What did you guys think? I know it's a little choppy here and there. That's because I was just jotting. I didn't write out a full video to prepare for it. But I did want to share what I found thus far with you about that and kind of discuss it. What do you think about that? Do you have any other thoughts different from mine about that? Because I welcome that as well. I love a great healthy debate or seeing different points of views or perspectives. But those were my thoughts. And I thought, interesting, you know? Also, soon I want to talk about the 7 sisters that approached Solomon in the Testament of Solomon. And how I find it interesting that not only these 7 sisters, but also other entities in the Testament of Solomon, you can make huge connections astrologically and like to the sky. For example, Beelzebub's son, along with another demon, is said to be the ones that have to hold up the Milky Way till the end of time. The 7 demonic sisters that approached Solomon, I know they stood for like different things. Like one was like anger, one was, different things. And I just can't remember right now, but I want to do a video about them soon. And I kind of thought about the 7 sisters in the sky, Pleiades, the star system. I just find a lot of this interesting, and it's kind of what I'm working on. Of course, you're going to see videos soon coming out more in depth on these, but I thought it'd be neat to just kind of explore and talk about. So you guys kind of know a little bit about what I'm doing too. I know one of the signs is when something explodes at the bottom of your spine. I felt like lava or fire rising up my spine. Wow. TMI. There are ways of making a man reach an orgasm without him coming. No operations needed. Are you talking about milking the prostate, Maria? Adults only. Read this, please. I find it best just not to comment. I have more energy and my hubby is like brain dead afterwards. Exactly. Like, yes. But I gifted it to Lilith, so might as well buy a new one. Awesome. Oh, hey, babe. It's true. Male's energy drains. Yeah. I've been told by a lot of people that I flirt with everybody without trying. Okay, here's one I came across a few years ago. Wadget or Buto cropped in to my energies. This is not sexual energies, more powerful energies. Have you heard of her? Cobra energies were heavily present too. I can't say that I have, October, but it's interesting, and I'm always looking for things I have not heard of. Azazel power, yes. Yes. Loving Azazel right now. Makes you think differently about monks and priests that are actually abstaining from the act of ejaculations. Right. Yeah, I went down a whole rabbit hole in my brain about that because I'm like, It's like what's real and what's not here, because I am a firm believer that they throw things into text, stories, or other things to throw us off, right? Or to naturally deter us away. It's just which source is the answer. I'm like, I need to research this. I find it so interesting that in Tantra they teach breath work that can help you climax without the actual act. Yes, I can do that, but I never trained myself, which is interesting. I actually heard and saw a guy use hypnosis on another guy, and he came without doing anything. Yeah, you can really do that. Yes. Lucky. You know who I heard in my head just now? Napoleon Dynamite. Lucky. I just watched something today that was about astrology, and they talked about ancient Anunnaki and that the Anunnaki goddesses were complaining about having to keep birth humans. So that is why they gave us the ability to procreate like the gods. Interesting. I do love that. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for putting in these sources, Maria. Oh, do you know anything about Titan or old god Kronos? Because I never saw or heard about people working with him. Yeah. Kronos. Now, remind me, he is the one... Is he the one that ate his children, or was he a descendant from that god or deity? Gosh, guys, something's up with my memory. Like, I can't say I've worked with too many Greek pantheon energies or deities myself. A few of them I have. But that isn't one of them. However, yeah, it was him that ate his kids. Thank you. Yeah. Probably powerful, but maybe a little chaotic. I don't know. Probably fun though. You got me thinking there. I don't know. I'd have to probably do more research to answer that, like, for myself. But if anyone else in here has worked with Kronos, father of Zeus. Oh, yeah. Okay. I remember now. Thank you so much, guys. Ruler of Capricorn and Saturn. I like Azazel better. I like Azazel better too. Who did we associate him with? Who was it? Not long ago, Rochelle and I were talking about Kronos, and we were linking him to, there was a demon and there was a god from another pantheon. I just can't remember who the hell we were talking about, because we talk about all kinds of stuff, but Cassiel, your angel. Okay. No one works with him or talks about him. That's so mysterious. Yeah, yeah. Maybe no one wants to get eaten, but I'm just kidding. I should stop being an a-hole today. Oh, and Anu. Yes, that's who it was. Anu. And then we got on the subject of like because I think it started with Odin, didn't it? And we were talking about other like father gods type of entities. And the Anunnaki, yeah. I mean, I like all of them, but anyways. Oh, I'm not trying to pick at you. No, I like them all too. I can't really say there's too many I dislike. I like all stories, myths, lore, different archetypes, different entities, different beings. Like, I like them all. They're all so interesting. Anything that is not me, I find extremely interesting. I think there is a link to do with Upper and Lower Egypt. She's associated with Lower, if I'm remembering it correctly. I just started getting pulled more toward like Egyptian stuff. To be honest, working with some of these demons has pulled me kind of that way. I wanted to explore like Egyptian stuff later, kind of like on my spiritual to-do list, but just not one that was a priority for me until recently. And that has a lot to do with Beelzebub's son, which I'm going to be talking about soon. Very interesting character, and a few other ones. Do you have tips about astral traveling? I went to some sort of blonde guy while I was falling asleep. Well, he saw me, so I hope if I do meet him, it won't be awkward. Probably not if they don't remember, but I don't know. So, tips for astraling, though. I mean, I know everybody says this with the intention thing, but what I mean is you definitely want like a directional intention on where you want to go as you're going to sleep. Um, if you can use guided meditations for like lucid dreaming and stuff to help out, it would help out, especially. I always try to encourage people to learn how to dream lucidly a bit before that. I feel like we all astral travel anyway. A lot of us just don't remember it. But if you want to consciously do that, you're going to have to be kind of lucid, right? So then you'll be able to direct yourself better where you want to go. You'll be able to remember the encounters better in more details, and you'll be able to manipulate that and play around with it a bit. One thing I do suggest is when you get into your meditative state or trance, because you can do this without guided meditations as well. Like I said before, you can use a candle or put a little like sticky piece of paper on the wall or ceiling as you're laying down to go to bed, just something to focus on, right? And as you're focusing on that, you're going to kind of want to hit that trance-like state. Calm yourself down, relax your body, and work on your breathing. Focus solely on your breathing. And try to keep the mind alert, but put the body to sleep. Sounds complicated, I know. But I actually have quite a few videos on that too. And once this is processed, I'll throw them in for you. Maybe it could help. It's so interesting how many gods and goddesses are associated with the planets and abilities and how they move from culture to culture and pantheons. Oh, I agree. I agree. Yes. Oh, crap. Thought you were on at 3. Well, hello, Lady Blind Wolf. Welcome. Set the intention before you go to sleep. Has been working for me beforehand. Yes. Yeah. You've got some cool stories recently, too, which I love hearing about. I love hearing other people's experiences, too, because it's so interesting. And then it's neat to compare notes and stuff. And also, Ponus, if you have like a friend or somebody you know that would be willing to practice with you as well, that could help. Do you have any friends that are actually quite experienced in lucid and astraling? Because I've heard of practitioners like dream walking or astraling in to someone else and then assisting them on their journeys. Oh, yes, and the guides. Yes. Asking your guides for help too. Yes. Thank you, Rochelle. That's a good one. Hi, William. Welcome. Have I worked with Princess Death? Not yet. I mean, I've worked with death closely like my whole life, but actual like no. But soon I'm probably going to be, after I wrap up what I'm doing here, which will probably take me quite a few more months with Zazel and some other lesser spirits. I'm going to be diving into some Santa Muerte stuff. So that'll be coming up soon. Or is that? She came to me in a really weird dream a few years ago, funnily enough, during the beginning of our original housing situation, just before our first hearing. Very powerful energy. Wow. Yeah, I love that first initial like feel you get of an entity's power or their energy. Oh man, I love that feeling. It's almost like some energies break like that. It almost feels like it's too strong for like your limited materialized body, just being around certain energies. They're that powerful. And I love that feeling. It used to kind of freak me out when I was kind of just getting started, was like invoking and doing ceremonial and ritual magic and stuff. But then I started to love it. Love it. Azazel took me with him, but I'm still thinking if it was lucid dreaming or astral traveling. He showed me how people used to worship him. I would go with astraling on that, especially if you feel it is. Lucid dreams, that was more so when I started really getting good at practicing it. I can remember one dream I had. I was walking in this snowy like forest, and there was this big frozen river in front of me, and it was thin. I knew it was, don't know why I stepped onto it, but I fell through it, and I started panicking because this sheet of ice that I fell through, it's like it held together except for like a cutout hole you would see in like cartoons, and it just flipped. So I couldn't get back up, but and it was like too big of a piece of ice. And then I stopped, and I literally said out loud in my dream, "Wait a minute, I'm dreaming." And I looked up at the ice, stopped panicking instantly, and just went boom and flipped it like completely away from the hole. And I got out of the water and had a ball with the dream. After that, it came a lot easier. But man, my dream work took me years to like get really good at. um, thanks to my kid and you, I've been doing some research on Santa Muerte. Yeah, I know you sent me some videos not long ago too about her. I think why I'm procrastinating on that so much, I'm so interested, and I already feel that type of energy. Um, Maybe because of my experiences and the whole when spirits take me through their death process thing, or I don't know. I think it's mental. It's something like about dealing with it like your whole life, and spirits and the dead, and that I think that kind of held me off for a while. But it's like if you can't really beat them, join them, right? So that's kind of how I look at it, and I'd like to ally myself with death more so than combating it. I feel like my abilities will grow. I feel like other things will be revealed to me through that. So why not, right? Fear. Sometimes it'll put our own limitations on us, guys. Yeah, I talked to her too. Santa Muerte. Yeah, I've been like putting out offerings or like little things for her, trying to establish that little link, that relationship, but I haven't like evoked her or communicated or anything. Well, that energy of her, that archetype, that face of her as Santa Muerte. I do feel like I've seen that archetype though in a different form or different energy. Just not typically how Santa Muerte would be described. Almost felt electrical and sort of oppressive, but not in a bad way, if that makes sense. Yeah, it does. Yeah, she really likes tobacco, alcohol, and chocolate. Yeah, awesome. Oh, there's someone that actually has their own virtual Santa Muerte altar online on a live stream. That's interesting. That's cool. Um, I want to also play around with, I mean, And really, I didn't come up with this idea. I actually heard it from Orly Stewart. You know, she made that video a while back about invoking the internet and stuff. And I'm thinking about that. And I'm like, well, you know, it is like a consciousness technology. We use it daily. I mean, it's ran by energy. It is a consciousness of its own. And I could see that going pretty cool in some magical practice or workings, you know. So I might play around a bit with like technology stuff. See what happens, you know, couldn't hurt. Let's just say I had some conversations with her concerning my kid's sperm donor. Nice. Oh man, has it been 50 minutes already? Well, guys, do you have any more questions? And are you guys interested in me doing some more in-depth videos about these demonesses and a bit more Mesopotamian or Babylonian stuff? Because I have more Azazel stuff with my path working coming out. The thing is, you guys know from my history on this channel, I'm usually extremely secretive when it comes to this. I'll only reveal so much of my work or what I'm doing in my videos. So I'm really trying to this year break out of my comfort zone and just share a little bit more with people about what I'm doing, you know. I hate it so much, but I love you guys and interaction with you guys. And I'd be curious to know, you know, who else has some of these shared experiences but yeah, I will be talking a bit more about that. It's just some things are very personal in these path workings, but I'm also going to, I might as well let y'all know, a lot of people have been asking for more information about what I did with Beelzebub as well, and also Clonic and Belial. And I can also release a bit more of that too. I'm going through the grimoires that I wrote while I was working with them and what it all happened. So I'm just kind of picking and choosing what I want to share out of those. So if you're interested, oh, I don't know if the comment lagged or what, and then it just like shot up. The comments did. Where was I? Yeah, people have talked about not showing your stuff online, but I think that is super powerful and can add power to your working. Yeah, unless I'm trying to do like something very specific, I agree. It's all in how you look at it, I think, and what you're doing and what you're hoping to achieve out of that path working. Now with Beelzebub, I'll go ahead and be honest, that one, that shook me several times during that path working. And it's like, I'm a little embarrassed of the fear, but also, I mean, come on, it was the first like big shot dude that I'd worked with. But, you know, I worked with lesser demons, but he was the first like prince. So yeah, I'm embarrassed of the fear I let get in the way of that. And I still do from time to time communicate and offer to Beelzebub and Belial. But yeah, that one. But in the end, I understood why he worked with me the way he did and why things happened the way they did. And that's why I was telling a lot of people, you know, he's kind of like a tough love type of dude, but he's going to show you and make you see too, if you're being kind of ignorant to things around you. You can only with a male deity. It doesn't do well to have her share an altar with a female one. Yeah. I have my main altar, and then whatever spirits I'm planning on working with, I will do little individual ones for them. You have a good night too. Thank you for coming, Gustavo. And yes, of course, sweetie, love this stuff. Yes, we shall do it. Azazel, hail Azazel. In a recent video I uploaded tonight of one of my sacred spaces, do you have an outdoor one near you? Like an outdoor altar or like sacred space? Azazel power, yes. Smash that like. Oh yeah, please hit that like. It really helps me, guys, and I really appreciate that. Well, of course, that would have to be up to your deity or whoever spirit you're working with. If they find it disrespectful, you're going to pay for it, though. Share whatever you feel called to share. Love learning from your experience. Thank you, doll. I'm the same. I share some stuff on YouTube, but some things I no longer share on YouTube and only share with good friends. Yes. Yeah. Plus, I feel like if I shared half, more like a quarter of things that we talk about, behind the scenes or, and not even then, they might put me in a cell and try to throw away the key, and I ain't trying to have that. Yeah, Amethyst, he asked me to do a video on the correlation between Indiana and the serial killers here. Interesting. Yes, I agree. I mean, showing like altars and such. Oh, I see. She also wanted me to do one on the correlation between Aleister Crowley, Jack the Ripper, and H.H. Holmes. Yes. Now, I heard about H.H. Holmes, but Aleister Crowley with Jack the Ripper, I did not, and I find that interesting. Apart from Lilith, I hear there might be other beings to work with on love, etc. Do you know any of them? Oh, yeah. Ishtar, Aphrodite, Astarte or Astaroth. I mean, to name a few. I'm sure there's way more too. Like, are you looking for like demon, deity, certain pantheon? Would it be Isis as well, guys? Because I think Isis is actually quite connected with like Nana and them. I think I am more likely to share. Oh, wait, did I do that? No, I didn't read that. Why am I getting confused? Because it's not hard to confuse me. More likely to share workings or rituals outside as opposed to indoors, if that makes sense. Gotcha. For some reason, I thought I was reading the same comment. Oh, well. Who cares what people think? They're weak-minded. Very true. Isis and Nana. Yep. Yes, demon. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a lot. You know what? You just gave me an idea, Ponus. Maybe I'll go through next week and do like for love, for money, like for different instances, and list like good demons to work with for those things. I've started sharing stuff on the Scottish witch trials pertaining to the areas and individuals around me. Oh, that is awesome. Guys, go check out her channel. Is that where you shared it on, October Rain Rocks? Yeah. Very nice Scottish friend of mine. Which, October, you know, I would love to interview you if you would be interested in something like that. You don't have to answer now, doll. Just let me know. Yeah, a lot of demons, though, I found so many connections to other deities and other pantheons. So, but many. Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, there's a lot. Who's the toughest deity you worked with? Hmm. I'm trying to think, because I've actually worked with quite a few deities before I went to like the demonic type entities or daemons. I know so far the toughest demon I worked with, well, two of them, but I also love Belial. I mean, I have a special place in my heart for Belial, but I mean, Beelzebub, man, he rocked me, and for good reason too. You know, I kind of dived headfirst into that one without fully knowing exactly what I was getting myself into, and my fault, right? I was a bit short on the research area, and when it came to that particular beginning of that path working, but I learned real quick, tough lessons. Yeah, I have psoriasis, but he had broken my skin out from like head to toe in this rash, and the doctors could not figure out why it flared that bad or what would cause that. They even tested like my skin and was like, we don't know what the hell's going on here. And I can't remember if I read it or seen it, but there were other practitioners, like magicians or Luciferians or others that were talking about when they were working with him, how he had broken their skin out as well. And I was like, well, if I would have done my research right, perhaps I would have known that. I would have to probably say Beelzebub. And to me, he could be considered a deity, or once was. Debated, I know, but I do feel from my own research that Beelzebub was once Baal and worshipped as a deity. So I'll have to go with him. Yeah, Baal. Baal. Probably a different like face or side to him, but I'm also learning quickly that these entities, guys, are very much, now I like to familiarize myself with their energy field, because, and the different ones that they have, because it's almost like it reminds me of, you know how Hecate has like the three faces, or a lot of them are depicted with different animal heads, and even angels are depicted that way. And maybe it's a little something to do with symbology of how many personality or faces or sides to them that they have. That is kind of my own thoughts on that. But yeah, and I just ranted and got way off topic. So sorry. Not just them. I think there are a few archangels or angels with that, but I don't know specific ones. Now, I mean, archangels are not quite my specialty. I know a bit. Basically what I need to know to research more about demons. But I also do have a theory, though, again, on my rant earlier about how different sides to them, different energies. I feel like you got your archangel and then you got their shadow side demon, but I feel like it is kind of the same energy, but one side to them, if that makes sense. Yes, and her Facebook page is Which Way Now Scotland. Hopefully before too long tonight, I can go and get the other stuff that I need when the girls get home so I can do That's Our Vagina. Okay. I read that and went brain dead for a moment. I'm like, yeah, her and I were talking the other night. Glad I got you guys together. Wasn't there a torture thingy where they put a person in this metal bowl and burn the fire under it? Oh yeah. Yeah, that was real. That was real. They that's something I want to probably talk about too, is like different torture methods they used back in the days. Like the choke pear kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies, or like the breast rippers, and whew, it's like, how do you choose? Like if I got tried as a witch and say it's like the 1600s and they're like, oh, you want the thumb screws or, the choke pear? I'd be like, what's going to kill me quicker? Oh, yeah, it is correct. And they would also sacrifice babies in the iron bowl. Yeah, was that was that Moloch? Back in the day, they had like cults. I could be wrong, but I think so. Oh no, not the babies. That sounds horrible. Yeah, it does actually. But I think Moloch calls for that, which, yeah. Bit careful on who I do summon as well. Like if I do summon Lilith or certain sides of her, like Lamash too, I will definitely like put protective measures in place for. I have 4 sons, and plus my fiance. I put protective measures in for them because, yeah. Oh, and Ball, yeah. Ball, right. And wasn't Ball, I know Babylonian as well. Yeah, I'll just say Mesopotamia because I'm sure there were other cults for Baal elsewhere I read, but I do think it was like typically like Babylonian. Oh, sorry, I didn't even read your comment. Maybe I will do some videos on some local castles around my area. Oh my God, I would love that. Yes. I've been dying to get out and go see these places and the Giant's Causeway. Which, when I do get a chance to see that place, and I will before I leave, hopefully, if I ever leave. But I thought about doing some sort of magic, like divination there, or some sort of ritual where I could like see if I can evoke the giant from the lore. I don't know. I haven't broke it down to an exact art, but it's just a thought and something I want to do one day. Immortals, I think, was the name of the movie. I think I saw that. Maybe I didn't. October, there's a YouTube creator known as Citizen Z. His channel, Citizen Z TV. Maybe he could help you out. Oh, October, you should also do ghost hunting in castles. Oh, yeah. Yes. Oh, man, over an hour. Well, we did good today, guys, and thank you so much for coming. I had fun. It was nice just chilling and bullshitting and answering questions and conversating. You guys are awesome. Oh, Immortals. I remember it now. It's been happening to me all day. All day. Aleister Crowley's house would be one of the places. Oh, yes. Oh, girl. Let me tell you, hopefully I get to go to Scotland soon too, if the world ever goes back to normal. That is one place I will most definitely like to go, or what's left of it. I'm actually looking into that ritual he attempted in that house too. Right? I think I'm a long ways off from performing that type of ritual, but I'd like to one day try. But I love you guys, and thank you so much for coming, but I should probably end it now. And I had a lot of fun, but Rochelle and I will see you tomorrow for our resuming Angels and Demons, which, by the way, I'm revealing the demon we'll talk about, and you guys will know the angel tomorrow. Hey. Oh, yeah. I actually talked about Astaroth not long ago, too. But, yeah, excited. And she or he is associated with the Justice card. So, yeah, be good. And I will see you all there. I love you guys. And thank you so much for joining me. Much love.